Hello, my name is Caesar Martin, and for our first presentation, I chose the country of Germany. Um, there are several reasons why I did that. One of the biggest reasons is for its actual size. Germany is one of the biggest economic markets in the world. Um, and as you'll see throughout the presentation, you'll see I'll give some information, some tips on their values, their etiquette, and also some background information. But firstly, I do want to give a little bit about me, and I want to apologize to Dr. Ortiz because he's probably seen this before. But my priorities still stay the same. As you see here, first picture in the top left is my two daughters. The older one is named Morgan, and her sister she's holding is named Mia. Morgan is now a little more than 3.5, and Mia is almost 8 months. The top right picture is a picture of my wife. Those two top pictures there are the main reasons I came back to school. They make me want to better myself a little bit, I guess. And of course, my wife is one of the people is extremely educated, and a couple master's degrees, working on a doctorate, and that was something left behind, at least in the eyes of my daughters. Bottom left picture there is a little picture of Central New Mexico Community College. Not only is it my company, the company of my employment, but also graduated from there about 10 years ago. It has its up and downs in the part of enrollment. I think right now we're sitting at about 26,000 students, which is big. I think it makes us the second biggest post-secondary institution in this state behind UNM. And of course, the last picture in the bottom right hand there is a picture of the business department of New Mexico Highlands University. These four pictures here are my primary focus right now. My children, my wife, my job, school. Of course, I do other things, sports, lift weights, things like that. But these are my four primary focuses in life right now. And that's just a little bit about me. So let's jump into Germany. First, I just want to start off with some facts about Germany. Of course, everybody kind of knows or has a general idea of a reputation Germany got because of the world wars they were involved in, and of course because of the Nazi Party. The Nazi Party was a very small portion of Germany, so I'm really not going to touch on that. I'm primarily just going to touch on just general facts. Their official name is, of course, the Federal Republic of Germany, which, of course, is part of the European Union. Their formation started back in during the Holy Roman Empire in 962 AD. Just a group of tribesmen, essentially, that kind of fought against Rome. In 1815, they actually became an actual confederation, recognized as German Confederation. In 1945, after World War II, of course, there was a separation of East and West Germany. And in 1990, after the fall of the Berlin Wall, there was reunification to now being the country that we know. It was just plain Germany. The area of Germany itself is 137,847 square miles, and has a population of 81 million, roughly 81 million people, which of course is the largest in the European Union. The gross domestic product is about $3.5 trillion, which makes it the fourth largest in the world, behind, of course, the United States, China, and Japan. And now I kind of want to get into some of the business values and etiquette of Germany. Going into this presentation, I did have a little bit of a predetermination of how I thought the Germans were, and I think they've always had a reputation of being kind of stiff, very straightforward, very focused, very organized, and the research I've done, it kind of proves it. And of course, their business practices aren't any different. First one I want to jump into is planning. The Germans are considered to be master planners. They take pride in their planning. They look forward to it. And I kind of laughed when I came across this first one. Is my wife is half German, and her planning is meticulous, and I'd never really put two and two together until I started doing a little research on Germany. Second portion of planning is the German culture prizes forward thinking. They their thought process is extremely thorough. You can't be a good planner without thinking from start to finish. So of course Germans, their thought process is very, very thorough. Germans plan carefully not only in business but in their personal lives as well. Germans see that rules and regulations are to be adhered to strictly, and they don't really variate from rules, regulations, and their plans, and they're not very spontaneous. Germans do not like surprises. Sudden changes, even if they do improve the outcomes, are not very welcomed. They don't like to be blindsided by things. Germans are viewed as being very, very serious. So Germans do not appreciate humor in business. Business to them is very serious. They take it very seriously, and so joking around, messing around, making off-color comments, jokes is not something that the Germans take very well. Their personal and work lives are strictly divided. There's a time and place for everything. When they're at work, they're there to work. They don't take a lot of breaks. Lunch hours are almost non-existent. But when they leave work, they leave their work there. For the most part, of course, everybody's different. There's some variations, but for the most part, work is work. Home life is home life. Conducting business in Germany, proper etiquette is of great importance. As a nation, Germany is strongly individualistic, which demands respect and high work standards at all times. Again, this kind of fits into the view I had of Germany prior. Very strong people. Northern Europeans, I think I have an impression it's very cold there. Kind of makes them tough, and I could see them being strong because of it. And of course, they take the work very seriously, as I've said a few times, and because of that, their standards they have very high work standards. Any unethical behavior will hamper and will kill any future business you may have with them. Corporate social responsibility. The German government takes environmental issues extremely serious. Germany's phased out any use of nuclear power and promoted energy efficiency and renewable energy. They're real big on solar, real big on wind power. Because as you're at my next point there, they're the world leader in the production of wind energy. Germany leads the European Union by having the greatest solar and wind electricity generating capacities. So as it says there, Germans see more than just the bottom line of business. They see that they have a responsibility to their country and to the world, children's future generations, stuff like that. So they want to try to help as much as possible. So their businesses want to help the future as much as possible. Another value that they hold high is punctuality, being on time. And I know there's other countries not far from them in the European Union that punctuality is kind of a flexible thing. The Germans, punctuality is very important. Time, calendars, schedules, agendas need to be respected. They were created and thought out for a reason, so you must follow them. Even the trains and buses arrive and leave on time to the minute. You can't be late. It's not. They frown upon it. If you turn up late for an appointment, you're going to be you're gonna have a hard time in that working with that business. best to be early. Germans really do follow the old adage. If you're 10 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And if you're late, you don't let them show up. Dress code. Again, German people are very straight, very stick to that straight and narrow. They take pride in their appearance, regardless of the position held. From the CEO to the two entry level positions. They all have the same basic attire. Businessmen wear dark colored conservative suits with solid ties and white shirts. No stripes, no polka dotted ties, solid colors from top to bottom. Women also wear dark suits along with white blouses. And they will wear women will wear dresses, but again, very conservative, very straight line dresses. The Germans actually frown upon casual or sloppy attire. They don't have casual Friday. Again, business is business, personal is personal. You're at work, you look like you're at work. And this is one interesting thing that I found out is one of the customs is you don't remove your work coat before your German colleague does. Again, it's the etiquette, it's the dress code that they follow. And lastly, I kind of wanted to touch on a couple. I want to touch on their five biggest companies that are based in Germany. First one you see there is and I apologize for the pronunciation because some of these I know I'm really going to mess up on. The first one there is Allianz WorldCare, which is an insurance company. Their market value is 60.6 billion. Huge company. Next one you see there onto the right is Daimler Chrysler, which they are they're described as a consumer durables company. A lot of people recognize them as an automotive company. Companies like Mercedes, Mitsubishi, and Smart Cars are held under the umbrella of Daimler Chrysler. And their value is $53.9 billion. Of course, these are American. I didn't do the conversion to euros. Next one you see there is Deutsche Bank, which of course is banking. And that their value is $50.9 billion. Next one you see there is E.ON, and what E.ON is it's a utility company, electricity, primary electricity, but they do dabble in water resources as well. Their current value is $70.9 billion. These are gigantic companies. Last one you see there is Deutsche Telekom, which is a Deutsche telecommunication service. $70.5 billion. So these are huge companies. Again, like I said at the beginning of the presentation, they had the fourth highest GDP in the world. So having companies this size is not something that's this size that are worth as much as something that's very surprising. That's my presentation, guys. If you have any questions, please let me know.